Ladies and gentlemen, I'll call to order the Commissioners' meeting room for Tuesday, June 4th, 2024. I would ask that you please join me in a moment of silent reflection. If you please join and stand with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call.
There is no one joining us remotely.
Executive session announcement.
Yes, there was an executive session held on Friday, May 31st. That was at 9 a.m. That would be with the three commissioners, HR Manager Alina Kegler, Interim Director as well, Allison Sankovich, Assistant County Administrator, and myself, County Administrator, as well as Ken Ressler. This was under the Executive Session Code 708A1 to discuss any matter involving the employment termination, terms and conditions, performance, promotion, discipline of a specific employee.
Okay. Public comment. Okay. Commissioner's comment.
Something important is coming up this week, and I can't remember what it is. I'm sorry. Everybody enjoy the beautiful day we're having outside.
If you could please run us through the consent agenda.
Absolutely. Today's consent agenda is resolution number 268. That's the payment of the 4 warrant lists as outlined in your agenda in item A. It's the ratification of 6 warrant lists as outlined in item B. Ratification of total payroll for the check dated 5/31/24 in the total amount of $872,156.28. It's budget transfers in items D, E, and F with one note. The item E for McNeese Wallace is for the Kraus case that we're still litigating with McNeese Wallace. It's sheriff request for use of the courtyard area on June 20th from 6 to 7 p.m. to conduct the annual Fallen Officer Memorial Service. It's resignations, employments, as outlined in items I and J, respectively.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Staff reports and special business. Do we have anyone here from the prison?
If we don't, sir, I can take that one.
Okay.
They're requesting approval for a repair to the laundry garage door in a cost of $821. This is a contract between the County of Blair on behalf of the Blair County Prison and Allegheny Overhead Doors.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
District Attorney.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
In late 2023, we were notified by the Pennsylvania State Police that they were joining most of the other law enforcement agencies in this Commonwealth in obtaining body-worn cameras for their troopers. They have been rolling that out throughout the first 6 months of 2024. And the mechanism that they have provided to the Blair County District Attorney's Office, as well as every other District Attorney's Office throughout the Commonwealth, is to use basically it's a web interface with the provider of their body-worn cameras, Accent Enterprises. That interface requires that we click on like a little agreement button when we sign up for the user IDs for everyone in our office. There are 2 user IDs that I think will be like managerial, and they'll go to our case creator who is Morgan Robinson, and then the office manager, Joe Claycomb. The rest of us will just receive regular IDs. There's no cost to the district attorney's office or the county. It's a free service from Axon. I'm sure the Pennsylvania State Police have already paid for it in some way, but it's free to us. But that's the mechanism by which we are to access the body-worn camera footage for cases where the state police have filed charges against someone. So I'm asking for the approval of the service agreement between the County of Blair on behalf of the District Attorney's Office and Axon Enterprises, and it's called Evidence Prosecutor Services. And it's simply just whatever web-based program they use to allow us to, I would assume we look them up by Pennsylvania State Police incident number, but I'm not positive on that right now, and then we download the footage to our case management system.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
So, Pete, what did we do in the past? Walk me through the scenario before we had a web-based application that we could access. What would the state police have to do?
Well, they didn't have body-worn camera in the past. So other evidence is we receive other...
You are unmuted.
Sorry, I didn't think we were working.
We typically receive evidence three ways. One is paper, two is through a USB drive, and three is through like a DVD that they burn it onto. That's very time intensive, and frankly, the computers that IT provides us with now don't come with DVD or CD drives, so I bought a couple out of my own pocket, and we kind of share them around the office. But we don't have a good mechanism to utilize DVDs or CDs anymore. A few of the smaller departments are able to provide them electronically, but I think they just email us a downloadable link. The mechanism that the state police have chosen for this is for us to create an account with Axon so we can go on there and pull them ourselves. I would imagine it saves them some time. Frankly, it'll help us go in and make sure that we have everything that the state police have determined is worthy of preservation in a particular case. But we've never had body-worn cameras with the state police before, so this is kind of a first.
Do you know, I know that you may not know this because obviously you don't have access to it right now. Are we able to share files with them? Like we're able to go onto the system and download the things?
I don't think we could share files with them because there wouldn't really be anything for us to share, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So Axon is, I would assume, storing all of the body-worn camera footage from PSP on their server, on their cloud, however they have it set up. PSP would have their own access to it if they needed to preserve it for all time, and then we would have access to it. I know with other departments, and I would imagine this would be similar, they're given a window. It might be 60 days, it might be 6 months, whatever that window is, for the department to go in and basically identify footage that they want to preserve. If they don't identify it as footage they want to preserve, then eventually, over whatever period of time that is, 3 months, 6 months, it will become overwritten, depending, just similar to some of the video surveillance footage the county has. So there's a period of time, usually it's about 6 months, maybe 3 months, and they'll have to take action. Once they preserve that, though, we should be able to access that forever, or as long as they're utilizing Axon as the supplier of their body-worn camera equipment.
Okay, any other comments or questions?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Southern Allegheny Service Management Group.
Hi, Jamie.
Good afternoon. My name is Jamie Henry. I'm the Executive Director for Southern Allegheny Service Management Group. We have been acting on behalf of the County of Blair since 2006 to manage both intellectual disability and autism services and early intervention services for Blair County. We have our contract up for renewal this year and hope to continue to serve Blair in this capacity, along with some other contracts that we'd like to renew following that motion. The following contracts under Part 2, there are 13 for the ID program, the adult system, that are paid through block grant funds. They may be paid through the waiver, but these are for auxiliary smaller pieces of services that folks may receive, including guardianship or evaluations, respite, things of that nature. And below that in part 3 is the early intervention contracts that are up for renewal as well this year. So we're requesting renewal of our service contract and 13 ID contracts and the 10 early intervention contracts.
Okay, I'll make a,
I was gonna ask some questions.
I think we have to
You
vote
can go
first,
ahead and
right?
make,
I think we have to make a motion first.
yeah, you're right.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Comments or questions?
I just have a couple questions.
Sure.
I'm trying to figure out what exactly we're doing here. And I don't know where I got this information, but I was told that basically this contract with you guys is to pass through funds. Is that correct?
Mhm.
So you receive monies and then you pass it on to these different organizations that are listed below here?
And to some degree, we also use some for our administrative costs.
I understand that. I'm
Right.
sorry, yeah.
Yes.
So your purpose in this is basically just cutting checks, paying them? Is that correct? Or is there more, is there more to it? I
there's
was
more to
trying
it.
to
We
figure it out.
We
from
provide
the-
oversight and training, monitoring of their services, a number of other, everything that we would do for all the federal and state contracts that we have as well, but this is just the sole base of the state police.
So like oversight, meaning you have people that
We can
go along to any of these or
We can go in and monitor at any time. We follow up. We do investigations if there's reports of abuse, neglect, any kind of exposure like that. Yearly, they have to do quality. They have to do quality improvement plans. We review all of the quality improvement plans. Any measures that are handled by the state, we handle those for these contracts in addition to the other ones that we do for the federal contracts.
And I don't know if you can even do this. Do you have like a number of, there are obviously a lot of care providers here.
Mhm.
Do you have any idea how many people we serve within the county for,
The adult system serves 848-ish. Kelly, what's your take out? 400 children per year for EI.
so adults in both ID and ED? Well, it wouldn't be early intervention, it
Right.
would be ID.
Adult, so
Yeah.
ID and autism.
Okay,
So around 850, if you just want to call it a round number.
okay. And do you know how many kids are in early intervention? 400, okay. I couldn't hear, I could hear a voice, but.
You can come up, Kelly, if you want.
And does the funding that's pushed down through the county to SASMG depend on the state budget? Would you know those figures from standing here right now, or is that something that you would
Yes,
wait
it
for
does
that?
depend on the state budget. No, I don't know those figures right now to the
Yeah.
dollar. We do have them apparently, though.
Wait, I was
brought our
gonna say,
fiscal person.
I do have numbers from 2023 as to what our office paid to your office and how much of it was passed through. Do you want to know that?
Yeah, I think the
Okay.
young lady's here, she can tell us.
That
too.
sounds
You can
good.
match
Yep.
Your numbers with her numbers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Figures coming down from the federal government that you don't see in the contract or do not come to us are about $73,848,295.
And that goes to our 1,200 people?
Yes. A lot of it is residential, which is
Oh, their living.
their living expenses and everything that go in with that, and all of their services.
So that money goes from the federal government to the state government, to the state government, to the county, to you. Correct.
It goes from the federal to the state, from the state to the provider. It
Okay.
does not come to us.
Okay,
It used to, but it doesn't any longer.
okay.
And for the ID program, the funding coming to us is $1,605,503. And for EI, it's $1,605,503. $78,692.
Okay. Any other comments or questions?
Commissioners, I know that the contracts have been in our office for a couple days now. I think you dropped them off last Wednesday or Thursday. I know that your schedules have been very busy. If you want a chance to review those contracts prior, we could leave these on the agenda. They start July 1, so we do have some time if you did need some time with those contracts or time to get any questions answered. We can certainly accommodate that into the timeline. We would just table our motion.
Okay. We appreciate that. I think we're good.
Okay.
All right, all in favor? Aye.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you
All
call
in
her?
favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Sorry.
Thank you for bringing everyone to explain and help us have a better understanding. So thank you very much for
Anytime.
from all three of you. Thank you. Public Works.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
We are happy to see you.
Requesting approval of a contract agreement between County of Blair and Keller Engineering for the proposal of service for design and construction services for the reconstruction of the County Road 104. That's Cranberry Road that runs through North Woodbury Township in the amount of $395,380. That work will consist of a full depth reclamation paving, widening the road, and new storm drainage.
Okay. Can I have a motion to approve?
I will very happily make a motion to approve this.
I'll second the motion. Paul, question I have, out of $395,000 that are listed there, how much is the county? Or is that all of it? Or,
That's the county. It's more. This is just Keller Engineering here.
okay.
Yes, this is the
And
engineer.
so we're incurring all of that. Okay.
This is a local project, so that
Yep.
means it's funded 100% with us. And before we finalize the motion, I do need to make sure that we designate this, if you wish, as an ARPA project. This was something that was designated in 2023 to go into the budget, and I just wanted to make sure that we get that on the record for today's motion.
Okay.
Do I need to change the motion then? Probably.
Please.
Okay, then you had asked for a motion. I'm going to amend it a little bit. I'll make a motion to approve the contract between the County of Blair and Keller Engineers for the design and construction for the reconstruction of County Road 104 through North Woodbury Township in the amount of $380,000 to be paid for with ARPA funding.
Thank you, Commissioner.
So we did call for the motion. Yeah. Okay.
We didn't vote on it
Okay. All in favor?
yet. Aye.
Aye. Just as a public comment, like when people need to understand, we kind of push back on stuff because this is a road out in Cranberry that's we, our taxpayers, if we weren't going through ARPA, cost us almost $400,000. So we're questioning a lot of things, aren't we, Paul?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Public safety.
Okay, I'll take this one. This is, we realized after we got back to the office last week that the resolution 259, which would have approved a agreement to, I know it was to service Big Red, something on the generator,
Yeah.
that it was a
Contract,
duplicate. We had already done that earlier
Okay.
in the year, and with the admin assistant being out, we didn't, just wires got crossed there. So it's just rescinding that second resolution that was unnecessary. So requesting approval to rescind resolution 259.
Okay, I'll make a motion to rescind the resolution that we've already agreed upon.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
Aye.
And continue on.
Yeah, the next one here is very exciting. We're asking for a I realized I have a old agenda too. There's another after that. We're requesting approval of a buyer agency contract. This is with the County of Blair and Howard Hanna Bardell Realty. Primary there would be Richard Johnston, for the price of $2,500, and this is for any county property purchases.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve. Can I have a second?
I will second.
Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
One of the questions was where we're going to pay that out of. Did those, I'm sorry, and I should have said this when there was the opportunity. Would you like that to come out of ARPA funds, the $2,500? Is that okay? Okay, we'll amend the resolution and.
Do you mind to read?
I wouldn't mind. I have an old agenda, thank you. Although I have the consulting agreement in front of me. So the last one here on the agenda for today is requesting approval of an agreement between the County of Blair and Westmoreland County to provide consulting services on an as-needed basis not to exceed 2 months from the effective date of the agreement. And this is following, with the rates following, which are outlined on the agendas. Robert Hamilton at $129.77 an hour, and Shara Savakis, I'm going to say, $91.61. Those are both the Human Services Director and the Children and Youth Director in Westmoreland County. Dave, thank you. What this is doing is this is a direct result of the settlement agreement with the state and Children and Youth, receiving our Children, Youth, and Families licensing. This contracting for consulting services meets some of the requirements in that agreement. These folks would be, they're county employees in Westmoreland County, so they would be paid by the county, and we would reimburse the county when they work for Blair County. So Westmoreland was gracious enough to allow us some additional consulting services, so we're reimbursing Westmoreland County for the time that they will be spending in Blair County. Those numbers that you see on the agenda are obviously going to have costs as well as benefits included. So that's why that number is a little bit higher than you would normally see for a county employee hourly wage. It's including retirement, healthcare, all of the benefits that they would be receiving on an hourly basis. And believe it or not, some of our rates are not far off of that with when you add in the benefits. So it's a pretty comparable service to what we're getting.
I'll make a motion to approve. Can I have a second?
Second?
Any comments or questions?
With this, I'm not sure of eligibility. I believe this will go through the Children and Youth Needs-Based budget for the funding source with this. I would imagine that it was an eligible cost there because the state is requiring us to do that, and we'll make some budget amendments to do that. So this will be paid, I'm hoping, at a 80-20 reimbursement rate then, or whatever category it falls under.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any old business? Hearing none, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next Board of Commissioners meeting will be held Tuesday, June 11th at 1 p.m. Thank you.